Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our webinar on the AI Notetaker. I'm just going to give everyone a few more seconds to log in and connect before we get started. Just see a few more people logging in now. If you would like to say hello in the chat, please do. It's always good to know where everyone's dialing in from. I always enjoy that. So let us know. Hope you haven't been flooded or anything like that. Okay, just a couple more seconds. Good morning from Edinburgh. That's great. Thanks for joining. Okay, just got some more people logging in. Wonderful. Now, while we're just waiting for a few more people to log in, there is also a Q&A panel you should see on your screen. And if you want to ask questions, please do post them there. We'll try and get through them all at the end. And I think we've just got 30 minutes today, 20 to 30 minutes. This should be a good one. We'll try and keep it to the point. Okay, let's make a start. So welcome everyone who's just joined to our today's webinar on the Appraisd AI Notetaker. I'm really excited about this one because I think it's going to be really interesting and really of kind of relevance to a lot of you here. I know actually today we've got a lot of customers listening in, so it's great to have you. I'm really delighted to be able to show you things like this and to see you joining our webinars as well. It's really great to be able to communicate with our customers like this. So thanks for joining. Now, as you may know, I'm the original founder of Appraisd, which has been part of Talos 360 for the last nearly 12 months now. And I am delighted to also introduce Alex King. Many of you may know him already, but Alex, would you just like to introduce yourself quickly?
Sure. Well, hey, everyone. I'm Alex, product owner at Appraisd. And more specifically, I've been in charge of the AI features, both the AI Notetaker that's built and released, and also upcoming AI features for Appraisd. So yeah, really excited to show it to you, hear what you have to say, and answer any questions you may have.
Nice one. Thank you very much. Right. So let's move on. So just taking a step back, for those of you who don't know me, and like one of my primary goals for Appraisd is to make it's about the working relationship between manager and employee, and like, how can we make that the best it can possibly be? So obviously we've got check-ins, reviews, goals, feedback, recognition. Through all of these tools, we're trying to ensure that everyone at work can sort of really get the best from each other. That's what we're trying to do. And we know from the feedback that we get great buy-in from managers on Appraisd. We know quite often they feel a bit more confident as a manager. We give them a clear structure and expectations as around their role as a manager and so on. But we do also know that quite often it's hard for them to find the time to write up the notes after they've had that conversation with their team member. And to to some managers, unfortunately, this can just seem like a minor thing because they've had the conversation and that's the most important thing, but it can cause problems. There's no record for HR or for the employee for that matter. If you're in HR, you're sometimes a bit in the dark on whether the conversation happened or not. You don't know what the quality of that conversation was. And very often managers and employees say things like, oh yeah, we should definitely do this, or I'll definitely set you up with that, or let's make sure we do that. Just things that we say that aren't always written down and followed up on. And so sometimes employees can lose a little bit of faith in the process. And so that is why, in my view, we decided to create this AI Notetaker. We honestly think this is a bit of a game changer. Now, to demonstrate this, we were struggling to think of the best way to do this, but what we've done is I recorded a sort of mock check-in between me and Tim Clifford from Talos. And I've just cut it down so that you can just hear some little excerpts. I hope it's I hope this is going to work. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed that into the into Appraisd, and we're going to see what it makes of it. Okay, so let's make a start. Now, during the video, you'll see and hear me clicking on a couple of things, but mainly I'm focused on Tim. I'm looking at him and talking to him. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you should see the video.
Tim, great to see you. Thanks for taking the time out. I know you're really busy, but yeah, this is your quarterly review. And before we get started, is it all right if I use the Appraisd AI Notetaker? Because then I don't have to type anything in, don't need to take any notes by hand.
Of course, yeah, no problem.
Just chat.
Absolutely fine, yeah.
Cool, okay. So the last quarter, let's talk about that. How do you feel like it's gone for you?
Overall, the website project, I think, has come on leaps and bounds. At the beginning, it was really fast and we were getting all the content out there and it looks great. I do feel like towards the back end of the quarter, we hit a bit of a roadblock. I've not had any updates about sign-off for the designs. I think it's sat with someone in marketing, and it has been since the back end of last month, so I can't finalise the project and sign it off until they've given the green light, so that's holding me up a little bit. It's a bit frustrating.
Okay. Would it be helpful if I did some digging internally and see if I could help you get that sign off?
Yeah, that would be a big help if you could, yeah, thank you.
Cool. Okay, so think about the next quarter. Is there any areas that you're particularly interested in developing? You know, new skills perhaps you want to try and learn?
I've really enjoyed the project as a whole for the website, and I think project management is something I'd like to take a look at. I know we've got lots of other bigger projects going on in the company, so I'd love to get involved with them, and if there's any external training I could do, I think that's something I'd like to explore.
How about this to start off with? Jenny is a Prince 2 qualified project manager, and I'm sure she'd be delighted to have you in some of her meetings, and so you can kind of pick up how it works and see if it's something you want to develop further. Does that sound okay?
That sounds great. I'd love to do that, yeah.
Okay, I'll put you in touch with her. I'll do it this week, and you can make a start next week.
Brilliant, thank you.
Okay, right. I hope you're still listening. So that was a, just a kind of a little mock review between me and Tim, and we're going to speed that in and see what Appraisd has made of it. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so this is Tim's quarterly check-in. I've just finished using the AI Notetaker tool that's built into Appraisd, and I go to the check-in tab here. And in these blue boxes, we can see the notes that it's come up with. So you can see here that it is picked up on those 2 points that I wanted to highlight in the video. One was the website project that had gone well, aside from the holdups from marketing. And then the other one was around his interest in project management. Okay, so it's separated this out into some challenges and obstacles, some development opportunities. Okay, so we've got a record of this conversation that's really kind of nice and neat and concise. And as a manager, I can read this and I think, yeah, that's it. That's a good record. I'm just going to insert that. So I'll do that and move on. Any actions that need to be taken by either of us? And it has just quite succinctly and quite nicely just pulled out those 2 actions that I, as a manager, committed to. I said I would talk to Sam internally, and I said I would talk to Jenny about Prince 2 training. And it's just both got those there. So yes, I'm happy with that. And maybe if I wanted to, I could adjust this or add another bullet point. And then I can just send this off and it's done. That's the end. I don't need to go and type anything else in. So we think that that is just a really positive experience. And I can tell you, doing that mock check-in with Tim, it was great just to press the button and to have this taking notes as we went along. And I was able to just focus on Tim and not worry about typing or writing anything down. So this is a really simple check-in. Now, let me show you what it looks like with something maybe more like an annual review. So I'm going to log in as someone else, and we're going to take a look at John's year-end review. And what you're going to see here is that the AI Notetaker adjusts to the form that you're using. So let's move on to competencies. And you can see that Jenny and John had a conversation that covered all sorts of topics, including the teamwork competency, and the AI meeting tool has pulled out just the content that we spoke about, wrapped it up into some neat notes, and put it in there under the teamwork competency, and the same for project management and communication. And if there's a competency that was not mentioned during our conversation, it won't try and just fill it up. It will just say this was not discussed. You can see it's done the same for the values here. Okay, so and objectives we're going to come on and talk about shortly, but here you can see it's put in an overall comment on objectives. Okay, so that's how it works. It's really, really straightforward. You can, managers and employees can just press this button to start note taking, and it will just sit there on your phone or on your laptop and listen. And then you just press stop and it immediately starts writing up the notes. You can do this side by side in a meeting room like you saw with me and Tim, or you could do this over Microsoft Teams or Zoom. It will also kind of pick up your audio that way as well. Or if you've just had a meeting and you happen to just record it on your phone for some reason, you can just upload it here and it will go straight in as well. So there's a lot of different ways you can use it, and it's really, really, really flexible. Okay, let me stop sharing my screen. Now, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to put a poll up because we always want to know what you think about this. I'm going to put a poll on the screen shortly, and while it's on the screen, I'm going to ask Alex to tell us a bit more about it. I'm going to ask you a few questions. Okay, so let me put the poll on the screen just to kind of get your instant reaction. Just be really helpful for us and also for Alex and his product team. So Alex, can you just run us through why did we decide to build this particular feature? Oh, I can't hear you. Are you on mute?
Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah. So I think AI's got a lot of potential applications, both, globally across all things, but also within performance management. And I think our big ethos is that we're not trying to sort of do performance management for employees and managers. We're just trying to help them do it, and do it maybe a bit better and make it a lot easier for them to do it. I think one of the big things we've always heard was, it's so hard to find the time to complete the reviews for all 10 of my team members in January when it comes to year-end reviews. I already have conversations or check-ins with all of my team members. Why am I having to write it up and so on? So we're really trying to tackle those pain points first. And the aim is, to make it just seamless for them. It's not about changing what they're doing. They're already having those kinds of conversations. It's about helping them get that information into Appraisd, with a wider goal of, once the information's in there, well, we can make your next check-in easier. We can summarize what you did last time. When it comes to year ends, we can summarize, hey, what's happened over the last year? What have all those conversations held? How can I help you write up your self-assessment so you're not trying to have to remember? You actually have those notes available to you, and we can summarize those for you.
Fantastic. Just tell us a little bit more about the other things that are coming up in the very near future as well. And because this is developing all the time, of course.
Yeah, that's right. So we've launched AI Notetaker as it is, and it takes notes and puts those notes against each question in your check-ins or reviews. What you will have seen in that demo is that we do notes against objectives as part of review responses. So if you have any questions like how have objectives gone this month or in the past year, we'll help make notes there. The next thing that we are testing internally and hoping to release to early access in the next week or so is making the notes on the objectives themselves. So I'm sure any clients, existing clients, will know about the progress updates feature, which is for an employee and manager to give updates against objectives, where we'll be adding notes there, and much in the same way you'll be able to use those to make good progress updates, so that when you look at those objectives over the year, you have the notes from each conversation and each discussion point. It's just a way to help you keep those up to date throughout the year. On top of that, it's also not uncommon that objectives change over time. So one of the things that might happen is you and your manager could be discussing new things that suit becoming a business objective or maybe a learning activity. And so, yeah, shortly after we do the next release for AI Notetaker for the notes, we'll also be having a look at objective suggestions. So was there anything in these conversations that might suit being put in as an objective? We'll help them write those objectives, and it will be there for them to confirm if they want to set that as an objective as well. So those are the things that are upcoming sort of in the short term. And then, yeah, that wider aim to help with self-assessments based on what you have done throughout the year. As a manager, getting a summary of the last 3 months when you come to do quarterly reviews for each employee that you look at. Those are all sort of the aim for H1 or Q1 through Q3 this year, really targeting the employees and managers and helping them do what they need to do just easier and hopefully without as much friction.
Brilliant. And I know we've had a few customers testing this so far. We've been using it internally. What's been the response?
Yeah, I mean, I've been absolutely delighted with it. This is sort of been my baby for such a long time. We've been working on it. So yeah, it's been really positive, both internally. Some of the things that I've been really happy about is, just to give an anecdote, we had one manager who really wasn't keen on the idea of using a note taker, recording those conversations. It was actually one of her team members that said, I want to give it a go. I want to try it. She used it once, saw and understood the value of it, and has actually started adopting it for all of her monthly check-ins across her team, which is great to see. One of the things that I think is really important here to note is the AI Note Taker is for the employees and managers. Those notes are only visible to the employee and manager that took part in that conversation. It's not automatically visible to a wider audience. There's still a sort of psychological protection around that conversation. It's up to them as to what they share as review responses to a wider audience, be it senior managers or even HR doing their reporting. So, this isn't, exposing anything new. It's really just about making it easier for them to choose what to put into those reviews.
Yeah. Okay. So the notes are private, right, between the participants of the meeting. But when the manager says insert to say, right, this is an accurate write-up, that's when it then goes into the system, and that is the kind of the record basically. And then it's just like any other response in the system. It has the same access, from HR basically, who can do their reporting and so on.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's exactly right. When you insert it, you may just think, well, that note's perfect. That's what I would have written anyway. Or you might want to adapt it, give more context, exactly as you showed. Really, we wanted to keep that step in there for managers to be in control of what they're inserting and what they're going to use those notes for. And actually, when you look at the use case, the uses from clients that have had early access to this feature, you see a bit of a split actually. So some people are just directly inserting the notes, and others are sort of amending them or adding to them. And it's really up to the manager as to what they're choosing to write into those reviews.
Fantastic. Okay. Right, we've got some questions coming in, but what I'm going to do is move on to the next slide, which is just to explain how to use this. If you're a customer or you're new to Appraisd, not yet a customer, we've got a couple of options for you. So if you're an existing Appraisd customer, we would love to hear from you. And the person to contact is our account manager, Richard Brereton. So his email address is right there. And perhaps, Katerina, you could post it in the chat as well, so that you can just click on it and drop him a line. So do reach out to him and he will explain how it works, how much it costs. This is an additional module that is paid for, and he can explain everything to you. So please do get in touch with him to get it set up. And once agreed, it can be set up very, very quickly. Now, if you're new to Appraisd and you would like maybe to have a chat with us about not just the AI note taker, but everything else that Appraisd can do, then please do book a call. You should see a link on the right-hand side to book a demo or a call with us. And I or one of my colleagues would love to hear more about how performance management works at your organization, where you would like to take it to, and show you around Appraisd. Okay, so do get in touch. Now, we've got a few questions here. Let's just start on the GDPR or the data side of things, Alex. What is how does it work? Because I think, so we take a recording effectively. What happens to that?
Sure. Yeah. So we take an audio recording of what they're saying. We pass that through Azure's AI functions to get a transcript. That transcript is then again passed back to a different AI function within Azure that compares that transcript against each question and pulls out the relevant bits of data. So the key thing here is this is all within the Azure ecosystem. It's completely GDPR compliant. Azure, of course, is where, for anyone that doesn't know, is the storage solution that we use. So that's Microsoft Azure, and that's where your data is right now. So it's not going anywhere else. We're not passing it off to external companies. These are all Azure-owned models that we utilize. GDPR compliance. Yep, there's full GDPR compliance. You can still fulfill any GDPR requests relating to this data, as well as the fact that it can all be deleted as needed. So employees and managers can delete that, and also as part of any GDPR request that can also be done. Is there anything else?
So yeah, so we've tried to design, I think, in line so that the functionality works in line with everything else on Appraisd, so that it's customers should be familiar with the standard way that we process data. It's all in our data processing agreement, and things like backups, retention periods, DSARs. That's all covered there, and it all basically goes in like everything else in Appraisd. Okay. One question here, which is, can this be used as a standalone note-taker function as opposed to linking it specifically to the performance management system? The answer is no. I'm afraid this is very much designed to work with the performance management system. And, that's really where we see the strength of it. It's not just a transcribing tool. It is designed to work with the forms of the templates and the questions and the prompts that you've already made in your templates in order to be able to extract what it finds in the transcript and put it into the different boxes. And that's really helpful for kind of structuring the data. What we start off with is just a long and potentially rambling conversation, and we turn that into a series of kind of isolated points that go into different boxes, which make it so much better for the employee and manager go back and look at it later. Or if you're an HR and you want to say, what is everyone saying about the leadership competencies, then you've got all the manager summaries written up there, and you can compare, across different managers, which is really great. So yeah, in our view, it's a sort of, the sum is greater than the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, if I've got that expression right. Okay. I think we covered all the questions. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. So if you'd like to hear more and you're a customer, please speak to Richard. He's ready to take your calls and emails. And like I said, if you're new to Appraisd and would like a demo, then please do get in touch using the link on the right-hand side, or just go to our website and you can book a demo through there. I'm always keen to to connect with people on LinkedIn as well. So if you look me up on LinkedIn, you'll find me under Roly Walter. And yeah, I'd love to connect, and do let me know what you think too. I hope this has been helpful. Alex, thank you very much. for joining us today, and great work on this. And it's been brilliant, like you said, to hear such positive feedback from the people that have tried this so far. It really has. People have said this is genuinely game-changing for them. And yeah, the number of kind of check-ins and conversations that are going into the system is just rapidly expanding. So it's very, very exciting. And thanks everyone for joining, and I'll see you on the next webinar.
Thanks everyone.
Cheers. Bye.